What's your "but wait it gets worse" story? I was 19 when I finally got my first apartment. I had this part-time job at the grocery store stocking shelves, making just enough to cover rent and ramen noodles. I felt like I was finally starting my adult life. The only weird thing was my landlord said rent had to be cash only. No checks, no bank transfers, nothing electronic. Just fold up the bills and slip an envelope under his office door every first of the month. I thought it was sketchy as hell, but cheap rent was cheap rent, and I wasn't exactly swimming in options. So for 2 months, I played by his rules. Cash in an envelope, slipped under the door at exactly 8 a.m. on the 1st. Never saw the guy face to face after that initial meeting. He was this middle-aged dude with greasy hair who kept checking his phone while showing me around. Should have been a red flag, but I was desperate. Everything seemed fine until this random Tuesday morning when someone knocked on my door. I opened it to find this guy in a wrinkled suit holding a clipboard. Said he was from the city housing office and needed to see proof of tenancy. I grabbed my lease from the kitchen counter and handed it over, feeling all proud like I was a real adult with real paperwork. He frowned at it for a solid minute, flipping through the pages and shaking his head. Then he looked up at me with this expression like I'd just told him I was paying rent to the Tooth Fairy. "Kid," he said, "this building hasn't had legal tenants in 3 years. It's condemned." I laughed because obviously he was wrong. I lived here. I paid rent. I had a lease with signatures and everything, but he pulled out his phone and showed me official city documents. Turned out my landlord had been collecting cash from anyone desperate enough to live in this dump. The building wasn't just condemned, it was scheduled for demolition in 6 months. Me and 5 other people were basically squatting without knowing it. But wait, it gets worse. I tried to pack up and leave that same day, started looking for new places immediately, but every single application I filled out came back denied. My credit was good. I had job references, but nobody would rent to me. I couldn't figure out what was going on until I ran my credit report. My landlord had used my driver's license and social security number to take out 3 different loans. Same thing happened to all the other tenants. We'd all handed over our information thinking we were signing legitimate leases, but this guy had stolen our identities. I suddenly had $7,000 in debt that I never asked for, never knew about, and definitely couldn't pay. I wasn't just homeless now. I was financially ruined. Credit cards I'd never applied for, personal loans I'd never taken, even a car payment for some beat-up Honda I'd never seen. My credit score dropped from decent to absolutely destroyed overnight. I tried calling the police, but the guy had vanished. When I went to his office, the whole place was cleared out like he'd never existed. Door was locked, windows were covered with newspaper, even the sign out front was gone. The other tenants and I stood there in the empty parking lot holding our fake leases, looking like idiots. The cops said it was a civil matter. The city said it was a criminal matter. Nobody wanted to help us. And meanwhile, I'm getting calls from debt collectors asking about payments on loans I never took out. I ended up couch surfing at my friend Jake's place for 3 weeks until his girlfriend got tired of me eating their food. Then it was my cousin's fold-out couch for a month. After that, I was sleeping in my car in the grocery store parking lot where I worked, using the employee bathroom to brush my teeth and hoping nobody noticed. I had to pick up double shifts just to start paying off these phantom debts. Worked mornings at the grocery store, evenings cleaning office buildings downtown, lived off energy drinks and whatever expired stuff they let employees take home. My hands were cracked and bleeding from all the cleaning chemicals, but I couldn't afford lotion. It took me 3 years to clear my name and get my credit fixed. 3 years of lawyers who wanted money I didn't have, paperwork that made no sense, and phone calls to debt collectors who didn't believe my story. Had to prove I was a victim of identity theft over and over again.